Hi folks, my name is Lars and this is DIY Germany. Welcome! And here's what I've been up to this past week. Enjoy! These slats have an inconsistent thickness. That wasn't smart. What am I going to do now?
For those of you who saw last week's video, I had mentioned that my workshop was a mess lately. Pallet wood boards everywhere, piles of random stuff on the workbenches. So first off, it was time for some cleanup and declutter. Well, after some cleaning up, I kind of see where things are now. First thing I want to take care of is this little pile of pallet wood boards, which I had picked up 2 months ago from a company a 45-minute drive away from here, and said pile was the rest of what I had. And I went there yesterday and got some more, as you will see in next week's video. And, well, first thing to do is to straighten one edge, right? So that's what I'm going to do. For me, a track saw is the perfect choice for this, which is why only some 8 weeks ago I got myself this budget model here. See, my workshop, at least most of the time, just doesn't offer enough space to use a table saw with a fence extension, and I don't have a jointer, so track saw it is. For milling pallet wood, I found kind of a routine that works for me, and I end up with clean, straight boards. And while I was running boards through the thicknesser, I ultimately decided to remove the extraction cover, since I only have a small shop vac and things got clogged up like all the time. Now I made a huge mess, and as you can see, and well, time for glue ups. This is our backyard, and as you can see, there's hardly anything growing this time of the year. But anyway, so here are our chickens, and what you can see here is going to be the new chicken coop, because that one, for one, it just takes up too much space, and well, it's old and it's leaking, and well, we need a new one. Construction wise, it's pretty simple. As you can see, the inner walls are made from OSB, and there's going to be some cladding on the outside, which I am making out of pallet wood. This is going to be the cladding. I've got a whole bunch of it, and there's still some pallet wood left, which pretty much messed up the entire workshop, and so I started gluing things up. This is going to be part of the flooring for the coop. And then there are some more boards that I'm going to glue up as well and cut them down to have more cladding. I don't know how much I need, so guess I'm going to find out, right? When it comes to glue ups, as your keen eye might notice, I like using polyurethane glue. It's outdoor grade and very forgiving, filling up all the voids and tiny and bigger gaps and even nail holes due to its nature to foam up. Oh, did you see how I built that mallet? I'll add a link to that build in the description box. Anyway, PU glue is some rather nasty stuff. It has a pretty short open time of only 5 to 10 minutes, and it's a good idea to wear rubber gloves for the glue up, since this stuff is hard to remove from the hands. Not to talk of clothes. Ask me how I know. But once cured, it's actually easy to clean up from slick surfaces. It comes off the silicone brushes just like that. And these brushes are so handy and cheap. I use them a lot, like a lot. And in case you're wondering, I like to use these half-rounded sticks for spreading the glue. They're also easy to clean up, and I like to give them a good rub with a low-grit sandpaper and then put some candle wax on. Works great. I had a few longer boards left over and glued up this plank and this board with that nice figuring. Those I will use for an upcoming project you don't want to miss. And well, it takes some time to clean everything up and then resaw it. But what I end up with, in this case, are more cladding boards in exactly the thickness I need, or rather want, for the exterior of the chicken coop. This footage here is actually from June this year. My wife had asked me to make her a frame for that sign, so I took a sled of 24 by 48 mil, which is something like a 1x2, and got to work. Since I don't have a miter saw or a dedicated miter sled, I figured for this one frame I might as well just throw together a simple jig on my crosscut sled, using double-sided tape. This actually worked great and made rather quick and pretty decent work of it, but
these slats have an inconsistent thickness. Here it's 23.3 and this side is 22.3. I should have cleaned them before cutting the miters.
well, yeah, and so I got my thickness out and cleaned them up. And then recut the miters, of course.
Looking good. Alright. $3 mil.
The plan was a simple groove to house the sign, but
That wasn't smart.
that's what happens when you don't lock the fence.
What do I do now?
Well, fix it, because I'm a professional. I wonder where I heard that phrase before. Once I had a nice fit, I chose to put an edge profile on the inside. And honestly, that wobbling in the bit I only noticed while editing this video. At least this one didn't come flying at me.
Yeah, it fits nicely, except... yeah. Alright.
Well, back to zero, and again.
Sure. Besser.
I added some splines to the new frame and cleaned them up. Then painted it Swedish red, the color of a house. Gave it a little rub and put on a second layer of paint. With the new frame, the sign now sat flush to the inside due to the way the print was positioned. It's made from a 3mm aluminium compound, and I had some of exactly that stuff lying around, which I took to the table saw and cut it a little oversize. Roughed up one side, mixed up a little epoxy, gave it a good cover, and then glued the sign right onto it. I had actually cut a rebate on the back before gluing it up, which I don't have any footage of. But well, finally the sign fit nicely and the frame was almost done. One final rub and a third layer of paint, and after that, the frame got buried under a pile of stuff. Right here. Until this past week. See, all it needed was a way to fix the sign into the frame and mount it on the wall. And I hadn't been quite sure about how I was going to do that, which was the initial reason I put it aside on that workbench in the corner. And then life happened. And there was stuff, and yeah, well. Then, a couple of weeks ago, I saw someone on the internet using regular nails on the back, and that felt just right to get this one finished up. Did I mention I made a mallet? And yes, I chose to drill holes right through the front of the frame for mounting. Savage, I know. But you know what? No one's gonna care. Certainly not my wife. She was actually quite happy with the frame finally getting mounted to the front of her house. Just shows again that men actually do what they're asked for, once they're ready for it. So I managed to get quite some things done last week, and although it's not exactly warm, winter chose to take a break, as it does every year around here, like until some point in January. Anyway, this should give me the opportunity to get back to work on the new floating chicken coop. At least that's the plan for this week. Let's see how much progress I can make with this. You'll be the first to know. Actually, the second. Or third? Anyway, thanks for being here. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, and in case you're not subscribed, well, you know what to do. And feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, because that actually tells YouTube that this video is worth watching. So, if you may, very much appreciated. Thanks. Until next time, folks, be safe, be good. Cheers.